I have been meaning to get on here and yap about this for far too long. Just haven't really gotten a good opportunity to do so. I don't know how long I've got for this topic. I don't know how much I can really come up with to talk about, but people keep talking about this, and I'm listening to people talk about it on YouTube videos and podcasts, and no one's saying it exactly the way that I'm thinking in my head. So I guess it's me. I'm the guy. With the Nintendo Switch 2 comes a new thing with these game key cards. It's a physical representation of basically a digital game. I don't think Nintendo themselves are specifically doing that, but third-party publishers are. I guess it's kind of like, you can sometimes buy a physical copy of a game, but then you open the box and there's just a download code. You just put it in on the eShop, and that's your game. You don't have to actually put the little cartridge into your Switch. There's still definitely potential for there to be like these physical copies of games that are just a code in the box. But there's this alternative. It's basically a cartridge with nothing in it but a key, a code or whatever. You pop it in your system, and then you have to download the game in its entirety. And you need, I guess, the key card to be able to play the game, even though it's downloaded on there. And I guess the reason for that existing would be so that, like, you still could, like, lend someone your game, or I guess theoretically resell your game. You just sell the card to somebody, and then they would put that in their console and download the game and be able to play it, and you would no longer be able to play it on yours, so you can just, like, delete it or whatever. All digital future is bad. Yep. Digital game's bad. Yep. I agree. Although, I mean, it is nice, like, with my Steam library, how I could just, like, decide, like, actually, I'm going to take my Steam Deck somewhere and then have all my games that I chose to download. And there's not some weird thing about, like, oh, did I bring all my yada yada? I mean, look, I tried to get as many of my games as possible physical for the Switch. And so what I have now is this carry case with so many game cartridges in it. Like, the value of this case, if someone was to steal it, is astronomical, you know? That's so many physical Nintendo Switch video games. Obviously, that's an issue for, some kind of tragedy or whatever. If I just lost the whole thing, that would be devastating. The hell was I saying? Oh, so anyway, yeah, I mean, there's that downside to the game key card is that you could still literally just lose it or break it or whatever. I want to say, if I had the option, if I was getting a game for the Switch 2 and it was either digital download or the game key card, I feel like I would probably still want to get the key card just because it's just fun to have a little thing. Silly of me, I know. The issue with this that people are having is the fact that the game is not on the cartridge for preservation's sake. Anytime it's a digital download, you're relying on that storefront to continue existing, have the servers still be up. If long in the future the Switch's eShop goes completely down, don't even have the servers up or anything, then someone's screaming downstairs. I don't know. The hell is it saying? Oh yeah, so if the servers go down, like, let's say you wanted to re-download a game that you've previously bought digitally, like, you wouldn't be able to, because there'd be nowhere to download it from if it wasn't already currently downloaded on your system from before the servers went down. I mean, there's not much that you can really compare that to. Like, with the Wii shop went down and all the servers and everything. That didn't have, like, an account system quite as much. It was really just kind of based on the actual console. So, like, now, like, you have these random used Wiis floating around that just have, like, eShop downloaded games on them that you cannot use anywhere else. You can't be like, oh, I bought a freaking Punch-Out for NES on my Wii. Now I want to play it on my 3DS or something. You can't do that. It's stuck on the Wii. Although maybe the Wii U might have had like a one-time transfer thing. I never got a Wii U, but I digress. Yeah, people are afraid of this theoretical and also slowly becoming real life problem of you buying a digital game. You spent full money. Let's say it was $60. Let's say you spent $60 on a video game, digital download. I've done that. Animal Crossing New Horizons, because I didn't think there was anywhere doing a midnight release for that, so I was just like, I gotta play it as soon as possible, so I downloaded it digitally. So now, for me to continue playing Animal Crossing New Horizons eternally, I'm relying on one of two things. Either one, that the servers to download the game are just going to be up forever. I'll just always be able to just have access to downloading it again on maybe like future consoles or whatever. Or if my Switch breaks and like 20 years from now I get a used Switch, I'm like, I want to play Animal Crossing New Horizons, that I can just like get it off of the server. Or I'd be relying on just the actual already downloaded game on my console to just not break or get corrupted or anything. Just pray that my Nintendo Switch just keeps kicking for a long time without any kind of imminent electronic failure that every device is kind of doomed to at a certain point. It's a fear for people. Is it a rational fear? You decide. Like, I understand the concept, like, oh, I've had this Nintendo 64 cartridge since the 90s, and I can pop it right into an N64 and play my entire full game. Now imagine if the cartridge just had like a code on it for you to download something. It wouldn't work. I get the concept, I have not gotten to my main point yet. I decided to just kind of yap about all the stuff I could for the first half of this, and until I get into my main point, which is the thing that I haven't heard anyone else bring up yet. And that is that I understand that concern. I have it too. I don't like the idea of everything being just digital downloads and you're reliant on these accounts to continue existing, etc., all the servers. But the game key cards themselves are not worrying me, for the fact that we have already been doomed in this regard for a long time. Almost no physical game that you buy at this point is actually complete on the thing that you bought. And by that I mean, like, you buy a game new, you pop it in day one into your console, and there's immediately a day one patch. And that's just all the stuff that the developers got done in like bug fixing or little enhancements or add-ons in between the time of the print date to the release date, Might sound insignificant. However, the 1.0 version of a lot of games is like horrific. You can like check out for yourself if you know Elden Ring at all. Like, look up a video on like the 1.0 on the disc Elden Ring. There's so many insane differences from like balancing to like the names of things. It's crazy. Like different dialogue. I think it's ridiculous. So I mean, and that's not a surprise, the way it is now. People release a game and it's not perfect, and they're like, we'll fix it later, because that's just what those higher ups are saying. We gotta get this game out and get people paying for it. And on top of that, not just like with like the like day one fixes and all that you usually kind of need, or else like you're just gonna have this like buggy mess of a game. There's also just like a lot of kind of add-ons that just kind of come in the form of free updates to a lot of games. Animal Crossing New Horizons is a great example of this. The first year, they just like had these updates that you had to download that would like literally add in holidays and like special types of items and furniture and all that. Up to even like some like massive gameplay mechanics that they're adding in with these internet updates that you have to get. With that in mind, which is crazy to think about, if you just had the physical copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons, popped it into a Switch and didn't update it, like you weren't connected to the internet, you would have like half of the game. Like they added so much stuff over the course of that first year. It's crazy. It's crazy that the physical game that you buy has so little on it comparatively. And that's not even like getting into like what a lot of third-party developers do, especially if it's like you're getting like some kind of like compilation, like a series of remasters for some game franchise. Like what they'll often do is like, oh, the first one is on the cartridge and you have to download the other two or whatever. I can't think of like the exact franchises that do that. Maybe it was like that GTA collection. I don't know. Probably. But like, so in that case, it's literally like games plural that are not on the actual physical cartridge, and it's still relying on those servers to actually be the complete thing that you paid for. So what I'm trying to say is to be so scared of these game key cards, though it's understandable in the same way that like you'd be afraid of like all digital games in general, it's not, to me, seemingly any worse than like what we literally currently have, even with physical games, where it's like, even if the game is on the cartridge, it's just not complete. It's just not all the stuff that you're expecting to be there, and it's like probably like buggy and has like crashes or something. So like when you're buying a physical game and it's, oh, the whole game's on the cartridge, it's like you're still relying on those downloads to continue to exist. Another example would be like the Mario Golf and Strikers games for the Switch, which got like these content updates a couple months in that add like characters and stuff. So the physical game, if you haven't updated it, there's less stuff on it. So like I don't know if this like helps anyone, but like we have been doomed. The game key cards are not like the start of something awful. Like we are so deep into the problem. There's almost no all physical games where you could just pop it in and play it without any kind of update. They just don't really exist anymore. The only thing I can think of in recent history is Metroid Prime Remastered for the Switch. I hunted down a physical copy of that after looking for several days. There's actually a whole saga of videos on this channel of me trying to get it. For some reason, the algorithm picked that up. Bless you, Dustin. And so I just rolled with that when that was going on. But I got, I guess, a couple of days after. Let me explain. Metroid Prime Remastered, Shadow dropped. They're like, oh, you can get it. You can get it right now. Go ahead, go play it. Download it right now. And then they said that the physical was coming later, a couple of weeks or something later, I think. So when that physical version of it came out, I hunted one down after a couple of days or whatever and got it. And I put it into my Nintendo Switch, and there was not a day one update. I was stunned. They got the whole thing on there. Can you believe it? I think there eventually was some kind of patch days or weeks later. I guess whatever, some kind of thing that was discovered and they fixed it and patched it and sent that out to everybody. But, you know, the game was done. They finished it. They put it on the cartridge, they sent it out, and you could just play it just like that. And I was hyped about that. I mean, it is literally a GameCube game that they just kind of souped up. But that was just so awesome to me. Like, oh, wow, I have this physical game cartridge here that will just work pretty flawlessly down the line if I just, like, have it and just come across a random used Switch somewhere and pop it in. Pretty cool. The one thing about the game key cards that people are concerned about is that like it's kind of like a scapegoat for like a lot of third-party developers probably. Like they'll be like, why are we going to optimize and try to figure out how to like squeeze this onto these Nintendo cartridges that don't hold a lot, or the ones that do hold a lot are more expensive and mess up our profit margins. Why don't we just do the game key card thing? It's just an easy out, and they don't have to worry about putting the game actually fitting it into a cartridge. That's probably going to happen with the way publishers are. But again, it's like it's not like there was an alternative. Like if they did have to do a physical thing, they would, and there wasn't game key cards, they'd probably either do the code in the box thing or just that thing that has existed for like a decade now. Like, hey, most of the game's on there, but then you have to like do the day one download for the rest of it. And I mean, like I think sometimes they will update the version of the game that actually goes onto like physical copies of it to make it reflect like the actual current state of the game. I don't know how often that actually happens or how reliably you could even figure out which one you got. But that's the point that I, for some reason, really wanted to just drive home, is that the game key cards aren't scary. Just the entire current state of how physical games work is scary. They don't finish games before shipping them out anymore. Whose fault is that? And the higher ups, the executives trying to impress the shareholders. It's all that bullshit. So yeah, you're mad about the game key cards? Have you considered that we've had game key cards in a more nuanced form for the last decade? Because that's how it's been. That's literally how it's been. You've already been using game key cards. The only difference is that the ones you've been using have like some of the game on them. It sucks, I agree, but like that just goes to show you how deep into this we already are. The all digital future is gonna suck. I still like new video games. I like the stuff Nintendo produces. I'm going to continue to buy it because I like playing good video games and trying new good video games. I'm not happy about the preservation aspect. I'm really into game preservation at times. But take comfort in this, that the GameCube is always going to exist, okay? I mean, discs are not permanent. They deteriorate eventually. But like, Dolphin is going to continue to exist. You may currently have several hard drives. And Dustin's about to have a fucking hairball on the couch. You may have hard drives full of perfectly legally obtained ripped GameCube games that you figured out how to get off of the disc and put into your hard drive. And you're going to continue to have those. They're going to be readily available. There's not one single source where retro games can be obtained from. There's many people preserving them. There's many libraries holding them, and things don't get better after the GameCube. That's the best gaming got right there. I could play the GameCube. If I could only play GameCube games for the rest of my life, I would not have like a gaming drought ever. I would just keep playing those GameCube games. I was just using GameCube as an example. And also, things did get better because we got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Odyssey, and those are all really amazing games. But anyway, I had to say it. I had to make sure I was the one to say it. I'm sure maybe you've heard someone say it already about how we've been in the all-digital future for way too long already to start getting mad about these things now. I mean, sure, you could go, oh, great, here's the next step in it to get us even further into it. I guess, yeah. But that's all I had to say on that. Game key cards. I'll probably buy them. I mean, less people are probably going to buy them, which I guess is the plan. You know, profit margins on digital far higher, etc. They don't want you buying physical games anymore, I'm sure, because they make less money off of them. But so that probably means there'd be less midnight releases. I mean, probably still for like Pokemon. Even if the next Pokemon they're like, it's a game key card. I think there'd probably be enough people that like GameStop would just be like, all right, come at midnight, pick it up, and I'll do it. If I want a game really bad and it's going to be on the game key card thing, I'll probably still do it like that and have the stupid little box and put it on a stupid little shelf. And then every time I want to play it long after the release, I'll be like, oh God, I got to switch out the cartridge. Oh, maybe I'll just play something that I bought digitally instead. And that's how it's going to go. Cause that's how I roll. And I'll say, I don't want to go find the cartridge and switch it out. But sure, I am sure glad that I got that physical game copy. But anyway, that's what I'd say. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you for the next one, all right? Bye-bye.